Robert Marvin Hull, OC, is a Canadian former ice hockey player and is regarded as one of the greatest players of all time. His blonde hair, end-to-end rushes, his incredible speed on skates, and being able to shoot the puck at very high velocity, all earned him the nickname the Golden Jet. His talents were such that often one or two opposing players were assigned just to shadow him, a tribute to his explosiveness. In his 23 years in the National Hockey League and World Hockey Association, Hull played for the Chicago Blackhawks, Winnipeg Jets, and Hartford Whalers. He won the Hart Memorial Trophy twice and the Art Ross Trophy 3 times, and he helped the Blackhawks win the Stanley Cup in 1961 as well as leading the WHA's Winnipeg Jets to Avco Cup championships in 1976, 1978 and 1979. He was elected to the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1983, and the Ontario Sports Hall of Fame in 1997. Biography. Early life. Hull was born in Point Anne, Ontario. He played his minor hockey in Belleville, and then Jr.B. hockey for the Woodstock Warriors in the fall of 1954. Although the Sarnia Legionnaires and the Waterloo Siskins were the Jr.B. powerhouses of the 1950s, Hull threw a wrench into their domination, leading the Warriors to the 1955 Sutherland Cup as All-Ontario champions. Later, he played for the Galt Blackhawks and the St. Catharines Teepees in the Ontario Hockey Association, before joining the Chicago Blackhawks in 1957 at the age of 18. Playing career. NHL career. Hull quickly blossomed into a star, finishing second in the Rookie of the Year balloting his first season. Hull originally wore numbers 16 and 7 as a Blackhawk but later switched to his famous number 9, a tribute to his childhood idol Gordie Howe. By his third season, he led the league in goal and point scoring. He went on to lead the Chicago Blackhawks to the Stanley Cup in 1961, their third overall and first in 23 years. On March 12, 1966, he became the first NHL player to score more than 50 goals in a season, surpassing Maurice Richards and Bernie Jeff Ryan's hallowed mark of 50 goals. His 51st goal against the New York Rangers earned him a 7-minute standing ovation from the Chicago Stadium faithful. Hull eventually scored 54 goals that season, the highest single-season total of the original 6 era. He led the league in goal scoring 7 times during the 1960s. Despite Hull breaking his own record by 4 goals in 1968-69, the Hawks missed the playoffs for the first time since his rookie season. By his final NHL season, he had scored 50 goals or more, a remarkable 5 times. This was only 1 time less than all other players in NHL history combined up until that point in time. His slap shot was once clocked at 118.3 miles per hour and he could skate 29.7 miles per hour. During his drive to be the first to eclipse the 50-goal mark, Hull's wrist shot was claimed to be harder than his slap shot. WHA career. Long unhappy because of his relatively poor salary in the period when he was hockey's preeminent superstar, Hull responded to overtures from the upstart World Hockey Association's Winnipeg Jets in 1972 by jesting that he would jump to them for $1 million, a sum then considered absurd. Gathering the other league owners together to contribute to the unprecedented amount on the grounds that inking such a major star gave instant credibility to the new rival league that was competing directly against the entrenched NHL, Jets owner Ben Hatskin agreed to the sum, and signed Hull as a player-coach for a contract worth $1.75 million over 10 years plus a $1 million signing bonus. Although his debut with Winnipeg was held up in litigation by the NHL, Hull instantly became the WHA's greatest star, and with Swedish line mates Anders Hedberg and Ulf Nilsson formed one of the most formidable forward lines of the 1970s, leading the Jets to 2 Avco Cups during his time with the club. His best performance was during the 1974-75 season, when he scored 77 goals to set a new professional mark. Because he joined the rival league, Hull was not allowed to represent Team Canada in the 1972 Summit Series, which pitted Canada's top NHL players against the USSR's national team. 2 years later, a second Summit Series was played and Hull joined many WHA stars in a second series against the Soviet national team. The WHA lost the series 4-1, despite Hull's 7 goals. He was a key member of the Canadian squad that won the 1976 Canada Cup, though, scoring 5 goals in 7 games. Bobby Hull rule. Hull and teammate Stan Mikita were catalysts for a 1960s craze where players curved the blades of their hockey sticks, which became widely referred to as banana blades. Hull is the player typically linked most to the rule that banned this practice because of the potential danger to goalies, who did not wear masks in that era. The curved blade made the puck's trajectory unpredictable. The rule originally limited the blade curvature to between 1/2 and 3/4 of an inch. In 1970, it was set at 1/2 inch. Retirement, slowed by injuries and age, Hull played only a few games in the WHA's final season of 1979. However, after the 1979 merger of the two leagues and reportedly in financial straits, Hull came out of retirement to play once more for the NHL Jets. He played in 18 games before being traded to the Hartford Whalers for future considerations, and played effectively in 9 games and 3 playoff games before retiring once more to care for his partner who had been injured in an automobile accident. In September 1981, Hull attempted one final comeback with the New York Rangers at age 42. However, it was a very brief attempt that only lasted 5 exhibition games before Hull and the Rangers both decided it was best to end the comeback. Hull had 1 goal, and 1 assist in those 5 games. It was the second time in Hull's career that he had played exhibition games with the Rangers. In 1959, after missing the playoffs the previous spring, the Rangers and the Boston Bruins had been sent on an exhibition tour of Europe, and then emerging star Hull and Eddie Shack were added to the Rangers roster for the tour. Hull and Shack co-led the Rangers in scoring, each netting 14 goals over the 23-game tour. Hull ended his career having played in 1063 NHL games, accumulating 610 goals, 560 assists, 1170 points, 640 penalty minutes, 3 Art Ross trophies, 2 Hart Memorial Trophies, a Lady Byng Memorial Trophy, a Stanley Cup championship and adding 102 penalty minutes, 62 goals and 67 assists for 129 points in 119 playoff games. He played in 411 WHA games, scoring 303 goals, 335 assists and 638 points, adding 43 goals and 37 assists in 60 playoff games. In 1978, he was made an Officer of the Order of Canada. Beside his Hall of Fame induction, Hull's number 9 jersey has been retired both by the Blackhawks and the Jets. Evander Kane, who wore number 9 for the current Winnipeg Jets franchise, sought and received Hull's permission to wear the number. In 1998, Hull got involved in a controversy with the Russian media when he allegedly made pro-Nazi comments. According to the Associated Press, he was quoted as saying, "Hitler, for example, had some good ideas. He just went a little bit too far." He later claimed the interviewer misunderstood him in the translation. The incident was satirized by the Canadian mock news show This Hour Has 22 Minutes. Host Rick Mercer read a spot saying Hull has been misquoted, that he had actually said, "Sittler had some good ideas." The reference was to former National Hockey League star Darryl Sittler. In 2003, he was named the figurehead commissioner of a new World Hockey Association, intended to operate during the NHL lockout in 2004 Euro 05. It never entered play, and the organization subsequently ran several ephemeral low minor league and unsanctioned Tier 2 junior leagues. He currently serves as an ambassador for the Blackhawks organization. Hull family. Hull's younger brother Dennis starred alongside him with the Chicago Blackhawks for 8 seasons, scoring over 300 goals in his own right. Some commentators often wondered which brother had the harder shot. When Bobby was excluded from the 1972 Summit Series because he played in the WHA, Dennis initially planned to boycott the event as well as a show of support for his brother, but Bobby persuaded him to stay on Team Canada. Hull's third youngest son, Brett Hull, was a more glittering star yet, finishing his own illustrious career with the third highest goal total in NHL history. Bobby and Brett are the only father and son tandem to achieve the marks of more than 50 goals in an NHL season and more than 600 NHL goals. They are also the only father and son tandem to win the Hart Trophy and Lady Byng Trophy. While playing for the Phoenix Coyotes in 2005, Brett donned his father's retired number 9 for the last 5 games of his career. Hull's other sons were Bobby Jr., Blake, and Bart. Bart Hull was a standout running back for the Boise State University Broncos football team in the late 80s and 1990, and played with the Ottawa Rough Riders and Saskatchewan Rough Riders in the CFL as well as one season of professional indoor football prior to recurring injuries. Post-football, he briefly played professional hockey with the Idaho Steelheads. Bobby Jr. and Blake both played junior and senior hockey. Bobby won the Memorial Cup with the 1980 Cornwall Royals. Later, he played together for the Allen Cup-winning Brantford Mott's of the OHA Senior A Hockey League in 1987. Bobby Jr. also possessed a powerful shot, but lacked the scoring touch of his father and brother Brett. Hull's daughter, Michelle, was an accomplished figure skater, becoming British Columbia pre-novice champion at the age of 11. After many knee injuries, she concentrated on her schooling and is now an attorney licensed in 2 states. Hull was romantically involved with a woman named Claudia Allon. In 1980, Hull retired from the Hartford Whalers to take care of Allon, who was injured in a severe automobile accident. In July 1981 Allon gave birth to Hull's youngest daughter, Jessica. The couple never married and around 1983 the couple parted ways. Jessica graduated from Benedictine College with a degree in elementary education and currently resides in California. Hull's marriage to Joanne McKay ended in divorce in 1980 after several abusive incidents. In 1986, he was accused by Deborah, his third wife, of assault and battery. She eventually dropped the charges. Awards and achievements: Art Ross Trophy winner, NHL First All-Star Team Left Wing, Stanley Cup champion, NHL Second All-Star Team Left Wing, Hart Memorial Trophy winner, Lady Byng Memorial Trophy winner, Lester Patrick Trophy winner, became third hockey player to appear on the cover of Time magazine, WHA First All-Star Team, WHA Second All-Star Team, WHA Most Valuable Player, Avco Cup Championships, inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1983, retired as the second leading goal scorer and ninth leading point scorer in NHL history. Second in WHA history in goals, sixth in assists and third in points. In 1998, he was ranked number 8 on the Hockey News list of the 100 greatest hockey players, the highest-ranking left winger. Upon playing his last playoff game in 1980, he and teammate Gordie Howe became the last active NHL players that had played in the 1950s. A OE-honored member, a of the Manitoba Hockey Hall of Fame, member of the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame, inaugural member of the World Hockey Association Hall of Fame. Honored member of the Ontario Sports Hall of Fame. In 2011, statues of Hull and Stan Mikita were installed outside the United Center, where the Blackhawks currently play. Career statistics. Coaching record. See also, List of members of the Hockey Hall of Fame, List of NHL statistical leaders, notable families in the NHL, List of professional sports families, List of NHL players with 1,000 points, List of NHL players with 500 goals, List of NHL players with 1,000 games played. References. External links: Bobby Hull's biography at Legends of Hockey, Bobby Hull's career statistics at the Internet Hockey Database, Bobby Hull's biography at Canadian Sports Hall of Fame, Bobby Hull's biography at Manitoba Hockey Hall of Fame, career overview and biographer Euro by ESPN, Bobby Hull, winner of the Lionel Knacher Award and the Bobby Rosenfeld Award, Virtual Museum of Canada exhibit.